It's just past 6 o'clock on Saturday the 5th of March, and welcome to this week's news programme. And in the headlines this week, a teenager and a man were detained by armed police during a dramatic incident at the Londis in Westham yesterday. Officers swooped on the Londis post office on Abbotsbury Road yesterday evening at around 6 p.m. and arrested a 17-year-old boy and a 24-year-old man. The 17-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of possessing a firearm with an intent in relation to an alleged incident in Birmingham. West Midlands Police said that he was detained in connection with the gunshots being fired towards two teenagers in Edwards Road, Erdington on the afternoon of Monday, February the 28th. He's currently in police custody in the West Midlands for questioning. A 24-year-old man was also detained on suspicion of assisting an offender and also taken into custody. On Tuesday this week, young people across Dorset found out which school they'll be joining in September. Just under 98% have been offered their first choice of secondary school, and just under 99% offered their upper school of choice. 97.69% of pupils due to start secondary school or Year 7 have been offered their first choice. For those starting upper school or Year 9, 98.64% have been given the place at their preferred school. Parents and carers will be able to log on to their online account to see the outcome of their application. In addition, where an email address was submitted as part of the application, families will have been sent a link to get their formal outcome letter off from the system. Dorset Council processed 3,437 applications, with over 95% of parents and carers opting to complete their applications online. Dorset residents have spotted, and I'm sure this applies to you, that fuel prices are rocketing in the county, with diesel at a petrol station in Dorchester costing 176.9 pence a litre yesterday. Average petrol prices have exceeded previous highs as the cost of oil continues to rise due to the war in Ukraine. Figures from data firm Experian Catalyst showed the average cost of a litre of petrol earlier this week at UK forecourts was 152.2 pence on Wednesday, up from 151.67 pence on Tuesday. The cost of diesel rose from 155.23 pence to a new high of 155.79 pence over the same period. In Weymouth, Esso next to the train station was charging 172.9 for premium diesel and 163.9 for petrol. Prices rose during the day on Thursday from those displayed earlier in the morning. RAC fuel spokesman Simon Williams said UK fuel prices are determined by the cost of oil and the US dollar-pound exchange rate. This means further price rises are inevitable in the coming days and weeks. Well, not good news there. I guess the trick there is not to travel unless you've got to, or to use other means like public transport, bikes or feet. South West Ambulance Service vehicle was covered in graffiti in Bridport over last weekend. A crew arriving on shift found abusive graffiti along the side and rear of their vehicle. The services said this antisocial behaviour is unacceptable, and rectifying the damage puts an unnecessary burden on NHS resources at a time when it's needed most. South West Ambulance have reported the criminal damage to Dorset Police. Of course, anybody knows anything about that criminal damage, please do give the police a call. The good news is that the ambulance was back on the road very promptly following the hard work of South West Ambulance staff. Officers have taken part in a dedicated day of action to tackle catalytic converter thefts in Dorset, a story that we've covered a few times over the last couple of years. As part of a national week of action, neighbourhood policing teams in the county were involved in a range of activity to raise awareness and crack down on offences between Thursday the 10th of February and Wednesday the 16th of February. The initiative saw officers join representatives from the Environment Agency, the local council, who visited scrap dealers in the area, while traffic officers also carried out a number of proactive stops of vehicles across the county. As well as identifying a number of unrelated traffic offences through the vehicle stops, the awareness work during the week of action also resulted in information being received that led to the arrest of two men on suspicion of theft of a skip containing metals after they reportedly attempted to make off from a vehicle in the Ferndown area. There has also been a reduction in catalytic converter theft since the start of a multi-agency initiative to encourage more forensic marking of vehicles that began back in May last year, with just 2 incidents reported during the month of January compared to 98 back in May 2021. However, Dorset Police remains committed to tackling the issue, which can cause considerable expense and inconvenience to victims as offenders target the precious metals contained in the catalytic converters. Now, staying with Dorset Police, officers are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward after a criminal damage incident near Dorchester. At 9:40 p.m. on Friday the 25th of February, the victim returned to find the damage had been caused to the front door of their property in the area of the A352 near St Martin's Church in Broadmain. It is believed the damage was caused sometime between 8:40 p.m. and 9:40 p.m. Police Constable Dave Ash of West Dorset Police said, "I'm appealing to anyone who witnessed the incident during the evening of Friday the 25th of February to please contact Dorset Police. I'm also keen to hear from anyone who may have captured any suspicious activity in the area on either home CCTV systems or dash cam footage. Anyone with any information on this or catalytic converter theft or any other crime can contact Dorset Police at any time on 101, or if you wish to contact them anonymously and pass on information without giving your name and contact details, you can do this through the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Concerns have been raised about the risk to children who walk past the Marchese House site on their way to and from South Hill Primary School in Weymouth. Bournemouth Churches Housing Association has asked to change the original consent which insisted on site access during construction via Radipole Lane, to instead use the existing entrance off Sycamore Road, Rowan Close and Poplar Close, which is en route to South Hill School. 18 affordable homes and 13 flats for rent and shared ownership are due to be built on the site of the former sheltered accommodation in a scheme said to be costing £4.5 million when it was proposed. It has been claimed that delays to the project, together with rising building costs, could put the whole project at risk. Local councillors said the claims that the developers were unable to use Radipole Lane, as agreed in the original planning consent, was an excuse based on costs. The company said it had been unable to reach legal agreement with the landowners to allow access from Radipole Lane, and said an alternative plan to use the 3 plots off Radipole Lane for access and then build on them towards the end of the project was unworkable. An alternative access route running alongside the back of the John Gregory pub had been described as prohibitively expensive. And that's a picture there on screen that I took earlier today of the site. A story that we covered last week, an update. A drive-through coffee shop and row of business units has been approved on the shore of Portland Harbour, close to the National Sailing Centre. Proposals to use the site off the Ham Beach Road, which we covered in our programme last week, had resulted in warnings about litter, extra traffic and an impact on the landscape. Weymouth councillor Louis O'Leary warned that parking problems associated with the nearby Lidl store had resulted in extra yellow lines being painted in the area, despite councillors being told prior to its approval that there would be no problems. Other councillors said they did not want to see any development which tempted people to drive, especially with other cafes already in the area at either end of the beach road. White Ridge's councillor Kate Weller complained that the development just off the roundabout would block views to the harbour and the sailing academy. Almost a third of the site will be devoted to the drive-through, likely to be a Starbucks, with 2-storey business units divided into small units on the rest of the site closer to the sailing centre. Concerns about the site included the design of the buildings not to reflect in the unique waterfront setting and the expanse of 76 car parking spaces. Natural England said it was worried about the litter likely to be generated by the drive-through and has asked for proposals to deter people walking from the site to the Ham Beach. 19 people had written to Dorset Council about the proposal, and only one of those was in favour of the scheme. Dorset Council planning officers told the area committee that the site is within the defined development boundary and is considered to comply with the local plan. There had also been no objection on highway grounds, and transport officers believed that the drive-through and business units would only result in a minor increase in traffic. West Dorset MP Chris Loder met with Ukrainian ambassador Vadim Pristakio, that's a very difficult name, so I'm sure I've got that wrong, and I do apologise for that, on Wednesday the 2nd of March in Parliament to discuss the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and efforts taken by the people of West Dorset to provide help and support to both those currently in Ukraine and Ukrainian refugees fleeing from the conflict. Among those efforts was that of the Prince of Wales School Dorchester, of which you've got a picture on screen now, who have been organised an entire lorry load of supplies to be driven out to support those in Ukraine. They put out an appeal and they were absolutely inundated with lots and lots of donations and a whole team of people sorting and packing them. Unfortunately, we haven't got time to show the video. There's a very good video on their Facebook page showing everybody working sorting the donations. So do take a look at that. Mr. Loder said that the Ukrainian ambassador was extremely grateful to everyone in West Dorset and beyond who has helped, and especially grateful to the Prince of Wales School for what they're doing. And as you can see from the photo, it's a colossal effort there, just collected in a few days. Following the recent storms and reports of power outages both locally and across the county, Dorset and Wilts Fire and Rescue Service has issued a vital reminder for the owners and managers of care homes, other residential accommodation and of course all business users. During a loss of power, automatic fire detection and alarm systems can stop working, and even if they've got battery backup, the battery backup is limited and is only designed to work for a few hours. So where power is off for many hours or even days, then fire alarm systems are rendered inoperable. Emma Turner for Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue has said it is critical that anyone with responsibility for providing fire safety, particularly in residential and care premises, considers the consequences of total fire alarm system failure, especially where fire detection alarms are considered essential to the safe use and occupancy of the building. In these circumstances, additional control measures must be implemented to provide adequate safety for the duration of the alarm system failure. Emma went on to say premises fire risk assessments should be reviewed to ensure that they identify the appropriate additional emergency control measures to be implemented in the event of a fire alarm failure in the premises. While the service is unable to provide specific advice on what is appropriate, we recommend that you contact a fire risk assessor for further guidance. Well, just some simple words. If your fire alarm fails because of a prolonged power failure, you could put something simple in, like blowing a whistle or using an air horn, as long as everybody within the building understands what it means, and it means to get out in the event of a fire. But do take some professional fire advice. Do go on to the Dorset and Wilts Fire and Rescue website at www.dwfire.org.uk/business-fire-safety. So www.dwfire.org.uk/business-fire-safety. We've also learnt this week that the sale of the Brewers Quay premises has once again failed. Developers Blakesley Estates, which had been intending to purchase the site from the liquidators after the previous owner Versant went bust, has pulled out of the sale. Acting on behalf of the receivers, Savills, and their joint agents, Gosbys, have gone back to the market and say they have a number of interested parties keen to acquire the property and step into the shoes of the previous purchaser. Negotiations for the sale of the iconic red-bricked former brewery building in Hope Square had been ongoing since last June. I think this is one of those stories that we're going to keep getting time and time again. A bit like the former naval properties on Portland that remain undeveloped, and the former Weymouth Council site on the edge of the harbour. There does seem to be a number of stories here of buildings that have been part demolished or have been empty for some time, and plans keep failing for them. And on the good news front, an award-winning vineyard has announced a £500,000 expansion plan. The vineyard at Langham Wine Estates, just outside Dorchester, will grow from 30 acres to 85 acres, and production will increase by 200% from 50,000 bottles a year to 150,000 bottles a year. More workers will also be recruited on the estate, which is just off the A354 near Dorchester. The new vines will be planted at the same Crowthorne vineyard site and include existing clones and varieties, predominantly Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Owner of Langham Wine Estates, Justin Langham, said the expansion is in part due to an increase in demand for Langham wines. He said, at times in the past, we've had to ration how much wine people can buy, and it's highly likely we'll be doing this again in the near future. The planting will take place in May this year, with the first harvest expected in 2024-2025 from the new vines, and the wine on sale for the first time in 2026-2027. In line with the major expansion, Langham Wine Estates is looking to grow its vineyards team. So if you'd like to think about a job in a vineyard, why not drop them an email? And the contact is justin@langhamwine.co.uk. Now, Langham Wine was named Sparkling Wine Producer of the Year by the International Wine and Spirits Competition, and in 3 out of the past 4 years, they've been named the best sparkling wine producer in the South West. It's very nice, I'm told, so why not give it a try? Local wine produced right on your doorstep, a stone's throw from Weymouth. Well, that's the end of our headlines for this week. Now, our first main feature this week relates to a local band. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to speak to a member of local group Sandtimer, who will be doing a concert in White Regis on Friday the 25th of March. So I met up earlier this week with band member Rob at All Saints Church, where the concert will be held. So good evening. We're joined this evening by Rob from local group Sandtimer, who are going to be doing a concert in White Regis soon. So good evening, Rob. Tell us who Sandtimer are.
Hi. So Sandtimer is it's a band that plays kind of indie folk music. We're influenced by anything from sort of traditional folk to sort of rock music, indie, anything in between. We started off as a duo in 2014, me and Simon Thomas. And as the years rolled on, we sort of brought in other instruments, bass, as played by Rachel, Simon's sister, and also drums as well, as played by Alex Jackson.
Where does the name Sandtimer come from then?
So it started off as just it was basically a folder on my computer that I was just throwing in any demos. I can't actually remember why I called it that, but it sort of felt like a theme was developing around, time, the idea of maybe time passing quickly, sort of trying to kind of make sense of it all and stuff. And I guess because a lot of our songs felt like they were kind of, angling towards that sort of theme, we just named the band that, I guess, yeah.
And do you write all your own music and lyrics?
Yeah, so we've been kind of writing right from the start. We play a few covers now and then, but mainly it's our own music, our own lyrics. It started off as mainly I guess songs that I'd written, and then over time Simon wrote more, and it's ended up being pretty much 50-50, which has been really cool.
And what sort of things influences the writing of the music and lyrics, or where do the ideas come from? Because it must be difficult to get started with these things.
Yeah, so I guess the sort of early influences are probably sort of more folky kind of musicians like Nick Drake, John Martin, Joni Mitchell, and that definitely kind of got us off, to a sort of acoustic-y kind of focused start. And then over time, we've brought in some of the other music that we really enjoy listening to, so rock bands like Pixies, there's a bit of an influence from them, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, a sort of New Zealand kind of indie band. And we've just sort of taken influences from anything really, yeah.
So you're doing
the first port you came to, the light at the end of any tunnel you were in. I wanted us to help you seek and discover the other side of darkness, where the healing can begin.
So you're doing a concert in White Regis on Friday the 25th of March in All Saints Church in the evening. What can people who come along that evening expect from you?
Well, I think we're going to be basically playing like a sort of a range of our songs from, the very early stuff, so quite acoustic focused stuff, to maybe the more recent stuff that we've been working on, which we haven't actually released yet. So it's going to be quite a kind of, a variety of stuff. And hopefully we'll take people on a bit of a journey.
Okay, and if people want to sort of get a taster of your music or find out more about you in advance of the concert, where can they find that?
So we've got a website, sandtimer.co.uk, and that's got kind of all our music on. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. We even very recently started a TikTok account, so you can actually find us on there now.
Brilliant. Well, Rob, thank you very much for joining me this evening. We look forward to the concert on the 25th of March. And if you want some information, the website will be up on the screen now. Do pop along and do come along on the 25th of March and enjoy the concert.
Thanks very much for having me.
I wish that I could swim and sleep like a shark does. I'd fall to the bottom and I'd hide till the end of time. In that sweet cold darkness of sleep, I'm constantly floating away. I wish that I could break and mend like the world does. I'd fall to the bottom and I'd chase all my dreams away. And I'd let you crush me.
There we go. That's Sam Timer, who are doing a concert in White Regis on Friday the 25th of March. In All Saints Church, and I think actually listening to their music and talking to Rob this week, it'll be quite a really nice evening concert. I think that will quite easy going, but quite enjoyable music. So I do hope that you'll look at that. If you're looking for tickets, they're only £5 each, and you can get them on the Parish of White Regis website at www.parishofwhiteregis.org.uk. And if you go down to the bottom left hand side of the screen and look for the events list, click on the Sam Timer concert and you can buy those tickets online. And pop along and look at the Sam Timer website and listen to some of their other music and see if it's of interest to you. Our next feature this week, we're going over to Janet Hall, and this week Janet is talking about some of the preparations for the Queen's Jubilee coming up later in the year, and an appeal for some information and for people to get involved.
Hello again. All Saints Church is celebrating the 70 years of the Queen's reign with an exhibition of memories of how Weymouth has changed over the decades. For this, we need your help. What do you remember? Do you still think longingly of the fairy lights along the esplanade? Do you regret the day they moved the football ground to South Hill? Did you spend your teenage years roller skating in the Sydney Hall? This little slideshow may jog some memories for you. looking for photographs and stories, so please get in touch. If you haven't been in Weymouth for very long, we would still love to hear from you, so you can tell us of your memories of key events in the last 70 years, wherever they happened. I can be reached on this email address or give me a ring. And I would love to come and interview you if you would like to talk to me, not only about your memories in Weymouth, but other memories of lives during the Queen's reign. And this can be a permanent archive, a picture of how our lives have changed in the 70 years of the Queen's reign. We need your help though, so get thinking. See you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, Janet there. And as Janet says, do get in touch with any old pictures, or if you'd like to be interviewed with any of your stories over the last 70 years, either direct to Janet or via us here at news@whitecourageous.tv, and we'll put you in touch with Janet very quickly. And lots of happy memories there in that video for me. I mean, I remember the Pier Bandstand and the Sydney Hall and the two cinemas, and obviously the tomatoes and the Sea Link ferries, all those sort of things. It makes me realise how old I am now, although I don't feel any different than I did when I was in my 20s. And of course the one that really makes me cringe is the council offices taking the place of those old buildings on North Quay, and those being flattened. They'd never be allowed these days, unfortunately, but it did happen, and we have that monstrosity there on the North Quay. So that's my personal view, of course. Our third feature this evening looks at redevelopment. A few redevelopments mentioned in Janet's bit there. This time, though, it's hopefully a really positive one, which is the work that's underway at Dorset County Hospital. You'll know that they're building a new multi-storey car park, and that is nearing completion. But the whole idea of the multi-storey car park is to free up footprint on the hospital site for further redevelopment and to enhance the services at the hospital. And there's quite a significant amount of work planned. So this week Lydia is looking at the future projects that are coming to enhance our hospital, and there's also a chance for you to get involved and to pass your comments back to those working on these plans. So we'll hear from Lydia now.
This week I thought I would share with you the plans for the future development of our local hospital, which at some time or other we will all need the use of, for ourselves, friends or family. Dorset County Hospital provides emergency and planned care to a population of approximately 300,000. In 2017, NHS Dorset Clinical Commissioning Group completed a clinical services review which confirmed that they would continue to be the emergency and planned hospital for the region. The government's New Hospitals programme will see 40 new hospitals built across the UK by 2030. More than £77 million in funding has been earmarked from the programme to allow the hospital to expand their clinical facilities. They also have aspirations to improve the main hospital site, as well as redevelop their trust headquarters and the former Damers School site. The first part of the project was to develop a new multi-storey car park to make space for the other development on the site. The car park will be open in summer 2022. This allows for the other 6 projects to proceed. These include a new emergency department, a new critical care unit, a new main entrance, a new hospital support centre, housing for key workers, and finally the possibility of a new integrated care hub. The emergency department has been ranked as one of the top 10 in the country for emergency care, even though they currently see twice the number of people the department was originally built for. The emergency team work extremely hard to provide high-quality care. The new hospitals program will allow him to build a new emergency department on part of the site of the former Damers School building, which will be demolished to facilitate the expansion. It will have a link corridor into the existing hospital, and the helipad will be relocated onto the roof, with ambulance parking situated on the site of the current helipad. The layout for the emergency department would be reconfigured to work better, with dedicated areas for a majors unit, minor injuries unit and pediatrics. Patients would access this facility via a new entrance off Damers Road, with short-stay parking provided. With ongoing housing developments, a growing population, increased tourism and the COVID-19 pandemic, the hospital has never had a higher demand for its critical care services. This is where seriously ill patients receive specialist care. It's vital that they keep up with this demand without compromising care for patients and support for their loved ones. At present, the hospital has 11 critical care bed spaces. The new hospital's program will enable them to build a 24-bed critical care unit suitable to serve the community for the next 25 years. The new critical care unit, CCU, would sit directly above the new emergency department on part of the site currently taken up by the former Damers School building. A new 2-story main entrance would be built in the current front courtyard area. It would provide a new reception area, increased comfortable seating areas and more food and drink options. The second floor would provide increased hospital space for either office space or clinical facilities. Whilst the new car park is being built, part of the site is currently taken up with a compound for contractors, Wilmot Dixon. Once this work is complete, they hope to develop a 3-story building on the vacant land. This would bring together their current admin spaces into one building. This building may also provide a small outpatient area. Housing is an issue for hospital staff, as although Dorset is a beautiful place to live and work, it is also very expensive to rent or buy a home here. This impacts on the ability of the hospital to recruit and retain staff. The hospital plans to develop a mix of studio, 1, 2 and 3 bedroom homes and apartments for their staff at the hospital, providing affordable housing for staff who might not otherwise be able or willing to live in the area. Plans for an integrated health hub were also recently set out by Dorset Clinical Commissioning Group and include all community services, some of which are currently operated in a hospital environment, and some in the community. A 2-story building would be required to house the hub. It would typically offer community-based services. For example, the Diabetes Centre could be located in a health hub once it has been developed. The hospital are working with the wider health community to identify the best sites for the new health hubs. They are currently considering whether Dorset County Hospital is a suitable site for a health hub, but they have made provision for this in their plans. So it's an exciting time for hospital services in West Dorset. You can have your say on the plans. To look at all the detail and make your comments, go to the hospital website at www.dchft.nhs.uk and click on your future hospital in the About Us tab. The full website address is on the screen now. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Brilliant, thank you there, Lydia. And quite a lot of work planned to happen at Dorset County Hospital over the coming years. And to change what's already a good hospital into an even better and bigger hospital, which is really good news, because at one stage a few years ago it looked as if it might be wound down or even shut, and we'd have to travel to Bournemouth and Poole. So that's good news for the people of Weymouth and Poole and Dorchester. We've come to that part in the programme now where we're going to look at the national weather picture, and this week we are joined by Alex Deakin from the Met Office.
Hello again. The weekend offers some spring sunshine for most of us, but also still a hint of a winter chill. It's not really until Saturday night and Sunday that the high finally kind of squeezes away that weather front and brings most of us a dry day on Sunday. But at the same time as it moves in, the winds coming in from the east will bring a pretty cold feel, certainly across the south and Northern Ireland. So quite quickly though, temperatures here will fall again on Saturday nights. With those clear skies, we will again see a frost. Now, weather front is finally going to start to bring more patchy rain further west and also kind of start to fizzle out as we go through the night. So we're just left with a few showers across the Midlands, southern England, maybe South Wales as we head into Sunday, but they should be easing away. Still a fair bit of cloud across the south, but again, good spells of sunshine for northern England, North Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland. having another blue sky day on Sunday. That easterly wind will be picking up though, so that's going to be noticeable. Even though it's drier for eastern England, it's not much warmer, still only 6, 7, maybe 8 Celsius, but add on that wind and it will feel colder. Elsewhere again with a bit of sunshine, 8, 9, maybe 10 Celsius across parts of Scotland and West Wales along with Northern Ireland. So the outlook is for largely dry conditions through this weekend, but don't expect much in the way of warmth and that damp weather persisting over eastern England on Saturday. For more information, make sure you're following us across social media.
Thank you very much, Alex. And a look at the local weather picture this week. As Alex said, they're not too warm. Sunny spells all week. I think down the south here, though, we are in for a few showers this week. So a changeable week yet again down on the south coast for us. Looking at traffic and travel this week, on the trains, services are starting to get back to normal, which is good. However, this weekend in the Reading and Basingstoke area, if you're travelling that way, there are bus replacement services in place. And during the week, if you're travelling on Great Western Railway to Bristol Templemeads, there's some late night amended services if you're travelling that time of day. We recommend you check with journeycheck.com for the most up-to-date information before you travel. Looking at roadworks the coming week ahead, two-way traffic lights still on Buxton Road until the 25th of March. That's the current planned date. Roadworks in the Newstead Road, Goldcliff Road, Pottery Lane, Longcroft Lane area, all to do with Jurassic Fibre and a fibre network going in. And in Newstead Road there will be traffic lights and around the junction with the Rock Hotel there, and that could cause some delays at times. Also roadworks in Hanover Road, Castlebury Road, Alma Road by a number of different companies in the current week ahead. Looking at what's on at Weymouth Pavilion, tomorrow is Fascinating Ada, 11th of March The Manfreds, 12th of March 80s Live, 13th of March Marty Wilde and the Wildcats, 16th of March Sir Ranulph Fiennes talking about living dangerously, 19th of March Dizzy Lizzy as Thin Lizzy, and the 22nd of March That'll Be the Day 35th anniversary show. So lots of stuff going on there. Also advance notice that Cold Place, the world's leading tribute to Coldplay, and their friends of Coldplay, have announced their brand new show for 2022, and they're coming to Weymouth Pavilion on Sunday the 1st of May. Box office can be got on 01305 783 225 or of course online at weymouthpavilion.com. Coming up at the Noth, March the 19th and 20th, Science Festival, April the 9th to the 16th, various Easter activities, Dorset Arts Week, May the 21st to 29th, and of course the Platinum Jubilee celebration, 2nd of June through to the 5th of June, and Victorian weekend on the 23rd of July to the 24th of July. Now, of course, if you are planning anything for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, do let us know. Send us an email at news@whiteregis.tv. Whether it's a concert, a tea party, anything you're doing, fancy dress, anything, flower show, just let us know. We'll share it with the people of Wyke and beyond, and hopefully that will help make your event a success. Now it's time for our film review this week, and this will be a popular one, I'm sure. It is Warner Brothers Pictures' Fantastic Beasts. The Secrets of Dumbledore. It's the newest adventure in the wizardly world created by J.K. Rowling. Professor Albus Dumbledore, played by Jude Law, knows the powerful dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald, played by Mads Mikkelsen, is moving to seize control of the wizardly world. Unable to stop him alone, he entrusts magizoologist Newt Scamander, I'm struggling with these words, aren't I, Eddie Redmayne, to lead an intrepid team of wizards, witches and one brave muggle baker on a dangerous mission, where they encounter old and new beasts and clash with Grindelwald's growing legion of followers. But with the stakes so high, how long can Dumbledore remain on the sidelines? The film features an ensemble cast, including Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne, two-time Oscar nominee Jude Law, and the talented who played the talented Mr. Ripley, and many, many more. Now, Warner Brothers Pictures presents a Heyday Films production, a David Yates film, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, and it's going to be in cinemas on April the 8th. And here is the most up-to-date trailer just issued in the last 48 hours.
Memory is everything. Without it, we are blind. Without it, we leave the fate of our world to chance.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Albus, but I've just received troubling news.
Tell me, what is it?
It's Grindelwald.
The time is closed, my brothers and sisters. Our war with the Muggles begins today!
The world as we know it is coming undone. If we're to defeat him, you'll have to trust me.
Mr. Kowalski, we need you.
I said I want an out and I want out.
You do know I'm a witch, right?
Dumbledore asked that I give you something, Jacob.
This is the team that's going to take down the most dangerous wizard in the century. Who wouldn't like our chances?
Oh!
No one can know everything, not even you.
What you're doing is madness. With or without you, I'll burn down their world. Dangerous times favor dangerous men.
If by tea time,
All of us are still alive, you should consider our efforts a success, Mr. Kowalski.
My pleasure.
Do you really intend to turn your back on your own kind? It was you who said we could reshape the world.
even if we make mistakes. We can try to make things right. We're gonna need some help.
There's nothing you can do to stop me. Things are not quite what they appear.
I trust you're enjoying your wand, Mr. Kowalski.
Can I keep this?
There we go. That's Fantastic Beasts. The Secrets of Dumbledore. I almost forgot what it was then. Out in cinemas on April the 8th. I'm sure that is going to be absolutely fantastic at the cinema. Well, we come towards the end of another programme. And just to remind you that regular services at All Saints Church tomorrow at 8 o'clock and at 9:30. The 9:30 will be live streamed, and at St Edmunds at 11 o'clock. Of course, our quiz will be on this evening in just a short time. We will go live with the quiz and questions starting at 7:30, but the stream will be up at 7:15 just so you can find it. I hope you will join us. If not, I hope the rest of your weekend is good. You have a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. If you have any stories or information for us, do drop us an email in the week at news@whitecourageous.tv. We would love to hear from you. Good night.